The Real Deal Show. Brought to you by eBodyboarding.com and Tribe Boards. Hey guys! Jay Reale back at you with another episode of The Real Deal Show. It has been a while since we've done one of these, and I am joined here by Southern California rising star, I'll call you. This is Scotty Plowden. What's happening, Scotty?
Not much. Thanks for having me, Jay.
It's a pleasure to have you. This is the second time we've done this. I got to admit, we had a technical snafu. I'm sure it was something that I did wrong, and we shot like a 1-hour podcast, and none of it recorded.
To our luck.
So that's on me. And it's been about, 6 weeks since we did that.
Yeah.
So we've forgotten most of what we spoke about.
Perfect.
So we're going to start from scratch. If you have watched any bodyboarding videos of the Wedge in the past few years and elsewhere, you've most likely seen this guy, including some clips on the Breaking Even videos. Scotty has featured heavily in that. He is a South Orange County local here in this area, but he's been all over the world. We're going to get into all of that, Scotty, but first of all, let's start with the basics, the bio information. How old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
Okay, so 22. Tell us where you were born and raised.
I was born and raised in Laguna Beach, Dana Point, California, kind of going back and forth between those few cities. Just with mom and dad, and basically just surfing since I was a little kid.
Brothers and sisters?
Not really. Half brothers and sisters, but pretty much grew up like an only child.
Okay.
So, I guess all the focus was on me.
Yeah. So were you, like, as a kid, were you into other sports? Did you play other sports growing up in this area, or was it just the beach?
Very much. Yeah, I played everything as a kid. My dad was very adamant about cross-training me in all the sports. And,
okay.
I played basketball, baseball, football, soccer, beach volleyball, even tennis, golf, like everything.
Wow.
And then, of course, was just at the beach all day, all the time.
Yeah.
And so picked up the boogie board, the skimboard, surfboard, basically anything I could get my hands on.
So was this because your parents took you to the beach, or you just would go down with friends and hang out, or what?
I'd say this started like when I was very young. You know, when I would go with my parents to the beach. I was fortunate enough to grow up in Victoria Beach in Laguna.
Oh yeah, Skimboard Central, right?
Yeah, my grandma had a house there, so when I was really little, I grew up living with her, and I would go down to the beach. My dad would take me all the time, and that's where I learned how to play volleyball, skimboard, body surf, everything. So since I was tiny little kid,
little guy,
toddler,
just living on the beach. Classic SoCal Grom. Now, did you find that you had a propensity for any one of those ocean sports more than the other? Obviously, you're now a bodyboarder, but did you have talent in skimming, surfing as well?
When I was younger, I'd say, I still remember the first wave I ever caught on a surfboard. I was crying. They pushed me into it when I was 5 years old. It was my 5th birthday.
I love it.
I was just crying. So I didn't surf that much right away because, at Victoria Beach, it's more shore break. And
sure.
You can't really surf there. And so I'd say skimboarding is what I got into first. And that's kind of, I started doing the competitions, getting really into that. Had a lot of fun with that when I was younger before I kind of jumped into the bodyboarding side. So
did you know all those legends of skimboarding from Laguna Beach, Blair Conklin?
Yeah, grew up skimming with all those guys, like Bill Bryan, Gio O'Brien, Blair Conklin, Timmy Gamboa, a lot of guys that I looked up to. There's a couple guys that were 5-10 years older than me.
Yeah.
And now they're just ripping so hard. And then some of the guys that were already in their 30s, 40s, and they're still holding it down.
I my son got into skimboarding a few years ago, and we would go down there, and George Bryan and his brother, they were down there still skimming, man. They've been there forever.
Yeah,
right?
Really good mentors too. Great guys. They're always really nice and inviting.
Yes, and that's what I found too. They would, give my son tips. I didn't know who he was.
100%.
He was just some new Grom getting into skimming, and they want to pass along, the knowledge and obviously keep the sport alive. But at some point, obviously, Laguna is a mecca for bodyboarding too. There's some great shore break wedges.
Oh yeah.
And was that kind of what fueled your stoke on the sport of bodyboarding? You were bodyboarding in those spots and you just like got into it because of that?
Definitely, I'd say so. Where, you're skimboarding at one of the local wedges in Laguna, and you always bring a boogie board down with you.
Yeah.
And so there would be some days where, you couldn't really get out to the side wave on a skimboard, so
Right.
just hop on a boogie.
Yeah.
And, I guess as I got a little bit older, progressing more and seeing what the wave could do,
Yep.
more gravitated towards the bodyboard because I was getting hurt a lot skimboarding.
Oh, yeah.
And
I can see that.
just, it's a very high impact sport.
Big time, man. I see videos of, those guys like they're skimming out and doing these giant hacks and then just pulling into the shore break.
Yeah.
It's
on a
psycho, man.
carbon fiber board, fiberglass
Yeah.
board.
So the board, if I guess if you throw it wrong, you can just nail it with your
Oh,
shin,
yeah.
or you pull in the shore break, it hits you in the head. There's a whole lot of ways to get injured,
Yes.
which we're going to get into because you've had some bodyboarding injuries.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a
Yeah.
minute. But did you have any bodyboarding sort of heroes, guys you looked up to in those early days when you're just starting to get into the sport?
Really only one name comes to mind that I really was paying attention to when I was younger.
Yep.
I would always see Henry Long out in the water.
Yeah.
Whether at, some of those more low-key wedges
Yep.
or at Aliso Creek. I enjoyed watching him and
Yep.
kind of got to introduce myself at a really young age.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was probably a good propulsion, into
Yeah.
bodyboarding.
And for those of you, most of you don't know who Henry is. He's a local legend bodyboarder from this area who's been around as long as I have. He's a little bit younger than me, but he's been, drop knee prone ripper for as long as I can remember, and a big influence to a lot of the young bodyboarders at Salt Creek.
Definitely.
So speaking of Creek, eventually you sort of like moved your focus to Salt Creek, which is a bit of a hotbed of bodyboarding talent, has been for a lot of years.
Exactly.
What switched you from like the Laguna Shore Break focus to the Salt Creek focus?
I think just naturally, getting older, wanting a little bit more out of the wave.
Yep.
And, starting to use fins and a leash, getting higher quality boards. Finally got my mom to, drop down on a nice bodyboard where I used to always just get the ones off the top of the refrigerator at Ralph's.
Oh, yeah. the EPS ones.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I'd get like one a summer.
Yeah.
But I think definitely, getting better gear was
Yeah.
a huge move. And then also just, wanting to surf better waves, getting my parents to take me down to Salt Creek.
Yep.
And they kind of knew as well. They pushed me towards that.
Yeah.
My dad was, hey, Gravels is the spot if
Oh,
you want to be
okay.
a bodyboarder. Because I have a half brother,
Yep.
and I never grew up with him, but he was a bodyboarder in the 90s. And so
Right
he
on.
would bodyboard Creek and,
Yeah.
a couple places nearby. So.
Ah, sweet. So when you were going down there in those early days, who were your peers, guys around your age that were also ripping, kind of pushing each other? Did you have a little peer group down there?
Yeah, I'd say so. I had kind of my friends from school where when we were in high school, we skateboarded a lot and weren't near the ocean. And then we started getting into it and going down to the beach, taking the trolley into Laguna, with all of our boards and everything, the classic teenager.
Sure.
And so I'd say a couple friends were my friend Liam Gillen and then his little brother Luke Gillen. And then, of course, seeing Craig, Tanner, Tristan out there in the water. And they were a couple years older than me, and I didn't grow up with them. So it was kind of like in passing, got to know each other over time. And then some guys that were just ripping that were my age that I didn't really know them, but we kind of we were in the same school district, so we knew of each other, was Evan McMillan and Ian McMillan, and then also Gavin Pelkoffer.
Yeah.
And then kind of they had like a little crew of guys that they were running around with, some guys from San Clemente too.
Yeah.
And so that really taught me what you could do, because I'm watching them, full cross reverses, doing backflips and stuff, and we're like 13 years old.
It's all about the style, and a
Yeah.
lot of those guys, they know what's up.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right.
Just,
The cross leg reverse or forwards. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get barreled.
Yeah, that's that's an Australian thing. They kind of well, Mike Stewart, of course, originated that sort of really crisp style, and the Australians took it to the next level, and that kind of translated throughout the sport. And, you guys, all the young guys at Creek have carried on that tradition of ripping. Now, contests. Let's talk about contests. Did you ever compete in the early days? I know we still have the California Classic, which happens in October every year, that Joey Gregory puts on and has a lot of help from the Salt Creek crew.
Such an amazing event.
Yeah, it is, and that's coming up again.
Let's
so
go.
That'll be cool to see. And how did you do in last year's event? You did really well.
I can't remember. I don't think I did that well.
Really?
I think I lost my heat because I had an interference. An accidental interference.
That's the worst way to go down.
Oh, well.
But did you compete in the early days? Like, you were a little too young. You're a little too young to remember the BIA, which was a tour here in California. But you weren't into that. You were into free surf?
I never got into the competition when they still had a few at Salt Creek. I remember seeing them.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in competition mode yet.
Not your thing.
I was still learning how to use my fin tethers and everything that comes with riding real waves.
I love it, man.
But I started to know some of the kids that were in those competitions.
Yeah.
So it kind of brought me into the industry a little bit.
Yep. Now, so you started moving from Salt Creek to obviously I don't want to say the holy grail of California bodyboarding, but it is kind of the mecca of bodyboarding, the Wedge, right?
Definitely.
So any bodyboarder worth their salt here in Southern California is going to eventually end up at the Wedge. It is the most challenging, heaviest, biggest, gnarliest wave that we have in this area. When was your first experience at the Wedge? How old were you, and how did it go out there?
I can't even remember. I think my dad brought me there when I was, 12 or 13.
So once again, Dad trying to push you in that direction. I like it.
Well, I think the first time I was over there, we won't really count it, but I was just fishing in the harbor, and my dad said, "Go body surf out there."
Really?
I just remember getting tossed into this barrel where the backwash hit it, and it was like the size of a Volkswagen above my head. Just thinking, wow, that's the biggest barrel I've ever been in.
I love it.
But I think the first time that I actually went and boogied was when I was 16, and I was in class, and I saw the cam was just firing.
Oh,
and
really?
So I just left my class and
just
drove straight up there. I had just got in my car.
Oh, my God,
and,
yes.
I give a 16-year-old a car.
Yeah, and it's game on. So you show up at the Wedge, you're 16, and what was the scene like out there? Were you terrified? Was it giant?
I think I was pretty scared.
Yeah.
And I showed up at like 8:30 in the morning, so there's no parking, and I could hear the waves from the street there. I'd never felt them when you're getting out of the car and you feel the ground shaking.
It's thundering.
Yeah, it was, solid.
Yep.
It's like real Wedge.
Yeah.
And so I remember I went out there and kind of took me a while, but I finally went on a bomb. And I was so stoked, what I thought was a bomb.
Was it a side wave or the peak?
I caught the peak,
okay.
Yeah. And basically, I think I just went straight.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later, Craig Wetter sent me like a link, and it was the OC Register, and they had posted the photo of me just going down.
No way.
Yeah, so I was pretty stoked on that, but
wow.
I looked like a total kook. I could like barely hold on to my board, but I was pretty ecstatic at the time.
I bet, man. You made the register.
Yeah, that was rad.
That's sick. That's sick. So you started sort of a love affair with the Wedge that continues today.
Definitely.
Are you on it every south swell or every decent sized south swell at this point? I know you have a job. We'll get into that as well.
I would say, the Wedge, it's a place of opportunity.
Yep.
And you can get out of it what you give.
Yeah.
So you really got to put in time if you want to get really good waves there.
Yep.
I'm still chasing the few that I want.
Yeah.
It's a really tough wave, like you said.
Yeah.
It demands a lot, and the crowd factor plays huge into it. Just paddling around people and getting dropped in on. It's just a normal thing out there.
Right.
It's kind of like going to surf lowers or Huntington Beach. You're just eventually going to get burned.
Yeah.
Shoot, I kind of lost my train of thought. But
well, just to add to what you said, even back when I used to ride at every south swell, this is in the 90s and late 80s, it was a zoo out there. Yeah. Now, I will say there were way less stand-up surfers. Nowadays, there's guys, a lot of really good stand-up surfers out there. Sage Burke, I think, is like
Yes.
one of the kingpins out there. There's other guys too, guys that pop into town. Jamie O'Brien, Mason Ho was out there last week.
Yeah, that was really cool. to
Yeah,
see.
so that didn't exist. There was like one, Danny Kwok was like the first guy who's a name you might not even know, but he was like one of the first team managers
Oh,
for
okay.
Quicksilver.
Rad.
And he used to surf it in the 80s.
Mhm.
There were a couple other guys, but now it's like there's surfers, there's tons of skimmers, there's obviously body surfers and bodyboarders,
Yeah.
and it's still super hard to get a wave out there. You got to like put in your time, like you
Right.
said, right?
Yeah, I'd say to answer your question about,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm committed every south swell,
Yep.
yes and no, where I really pick my days.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of have, with the ways that I see the forecast, that I'll let a day slide, you know, if it's
Yeah.
one
If
of-
it's not going to be just
yeah,
right.
if it doesn't match what I'm looking for.
Sure.
And you know, I guess I can't give out the formula with what
I was just going to
look
ask
at.
you, what are you looking for? What are the magic conditions? I know.
I just want people to be surfed out. That's it.
Yeah, right. So you wait
So-
to the end of the swell.
Yeah,
and
I
hope
don't
people-
really mind. Like, I like surfing wedge when it's smaller. Actually,
Sure.
When it's too big and it separates too much from the side wave and the peak,
Yeah.
I like to be able to play both.
Got it.
Because if you really hustle both directions, you can still get a set wave on either side.
Yes.
Whereas once it gets a little too big, then the crowd shifts. It's a different crowd.
Yeah.
And you get the guys with, you know, their hardboards are going to paddle from out the back.
Sure.
And it's a different beast every day.
Yeah.
And I get along really well with everyone out there. I feel like for the most part I'm pretty respectful.
Yeah.
And that, you know, we kind of all rotate turns and we know who is, you know, in position at
Sure.
that time.
Sure.
And then everyone else kind of just falls into place.
Right. Everyone else
Um,
gets scraps is what you meant to say, but I said it for you. But yeah, it's an interesting spot. I mean, like any spot with a small takeoff zone and a big crowd, there is a hierarchy out there. You know, you're going to get sort of like Grom sitting on the inside trying to take whatever's left over. And then you get your regulars, the guys that put in a lot of time out
Mhm.
there, and they know that rotation you talked about. Okay, he
Exactly.
just had a wave, so now it's my turn. Okay, I just had a wave. I'll sit at the back of the line, let a couple sets go through. That's at any tight competitive lineup. Pipeline comes to mind, other spots as well. But yeah, the wedge is it's a gnarly beast. And we all know people that have been seriously injured out there. My friend Ron Zabel, who broke his back there in 2008, was one of the best ever to ride the wedge back in my day. He was there every swell. He was really talented out there.
Mhm.
And then the wave just said, oh, "You're going to pay your dues for the rest of your life," and it, folded him in half. So nobody's immune from injury. We're going to talk about your injuries next, but have you seen other people get really hurt out there?
I have seen a few. Luckily, I haven't seen anything too bad. I've seen some people carried off the beach for sure.
Yep.
It seems to be every time right after I leave, something happens.
Right.
So I guess I'm kind of happy I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you're spared the horrors. However, you have not been spared the horrors yourself. So let's talk about your injuries. Give me some of your injuries from, just give me two, and I know which one's the worst. We're going to run a clip of it in here on this podcast, but tell me like one that you had and then your worst one.
I guess I would really only call that one an injury. Other things would be getting hurt.
Okay.
That would be the
Like you
difference.
tweak a muscle or something like that.
Yeah. But I did break my jaw at the wedge on a bad wave.
Yeah, talk us through that wave. I'll run the clip right now,
Oh man.
and people can see it on the screen. But talk us through that wave. When
Well,
was it? What
goodness,
time of day?
I've
What
been-
happened? Give us the backstory.
2.5 years ago
Okay.
or so, in the summer. Pretty good morning.
Yep.
And it just started to get so crowded. I was kind of getting upset. I had a lot of waves that I wanted and I couldn't get. Either it's my fault or I'm blaming it on someone else, whatever.
Right.
And so I just got antsy and picked one that wasn't a good wave. Had too much bump in it, but I just kind of gunned it, and it was a big closeout, or not big, but maybe like a 4 or 5 foot wave.
Wow.
And so then I get down to the bottom, and I looked sweet. I saw the backwash coming, but the way that in my head I pictured it, I was going to hit a roll and land on the other side of the backwash. So I thought I would be sweet, like in the flat. But I hit a bump right before I got to the lip. And then I just kind of decided to keep going, where I should have just pulled out the back.
Yep.
And yeah, not a good idea. Came around, did the roll, but I landed right on that lump of backwash.
With a lot of force.
A lot of force. Yeah, I got a little bit of air for sure. And so then just slammed, and I think, my elbow just gave out, just slipped. And so I smashed my board sideways like that. And it probably like right on my plug or something. I don't know. But broke my jaw right underneath my ear.
But I think you told me when we did the first version of this podcast that never aired, that you didn't know you broke your jaw.
I didn't know.
Tell me what you were feeling. Like something was loose in there?
I smashed really hard and everything went ringing. And I instantly, and my fins flew off too. I got blown up because the wave came down behind me. Yeah. And then, when you see people get thrown up in the air after, that's what happened.
Oh my gosh.
So fins are gone. I was just mad and had a huge day planned. I was supposed to, go do a bunch of stuff. It was a Saturday.
Yeah.
And so, right when I kind of came to, I thought I popped my eardrum. Oof. So I stood up, and when I stood up, I didn't fall over. So you knew, was like, okay, I didn't pop my eardrum.
Yeah, because normally you're dizzy when that happens.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I've never done that, but I figured I would fall over
sure,
if I did.
Right.
And so then I kind of hobbled, crawled up the beach, and I was sitting there, and then I think I found one fin. I was mad I couldn't find the other. Still couldn't feel my face. It was just stinging so bad. But then once I could feel my tongue, I could feel my teeth dangling in the back because my jaw went like that. Ooh. And just snapped 3 molars in the back.
Oh my God.
So I knew I needed to go.
Yeah.
And Evan was in the water and I was driving. So I told him, hey, let's go. And he wouldn't get out.
He didn't know you were hurt probably, right?
Yeah. He just thought I'm trying to leave. And I was trying to point, and people on the beach were trying to talk to me. I'm like, leave me alone,
Oh, man.
And so then I had him, he helped me take my wetsuit off, and then I drove all the way home because I didn't trust him to drive my car. And then...
and you're in agony driving your car, blood in your mouth.
I had the heater on full blast because it was the only thing that would help,
with the
pain? My face, and then... so I got an emergency dentist appointment. I said, hey, man, you got to fix, my molars, or at least just pull out whatever's broken so it's not dangling.
So was the dentist office even open, or
it was 11 a.m. at that point. So I'd called
on a Saturday.
He's open. And shout out Dr. Rubio, Dana Point.
There you go.
He's a legend.
I saw you give him a shout out recently.
He served some bodyboards. Yeah.
There you go.
But he's a great guy.
Good.
So he x-rayed me and he's kept trying to get the side of my face because I was telling him my face just feels weird over here. And then he sat down. He goes, shoot, man, you broke your jaw. And then went through the steps of telling me what was going to happen.
So the mandible was broken? That's your big jawbone?
Yeah, it was the upper mandible.
Okay.
And it basically it was a clean break.
Right, where it connects to your skull.
Gosh, and so there they can't put any plating or anything in. It's just they call it a closed reduction. So what they do is they go in, they'll sedate you, and then wire each tooth, and then put a bracket so that way the wires can be in place. And then they just kind of get your bite as close as it was.
Brutal. And
then lock it for a month.
My God.
And then the bone just hopefully grows back together.
So that was a different Saturday than you had envisioned when you woke up that morning, obviously.
Oh, it was horrible.
And so for a month, you had your jaw wired shut, which of course means a liquid diet for you.
Just smoothies.
Yeah, smoothies. What else? What else could you eat?
A lot of elderly drinks,
Ensure.
Yeah, a lot of Ensure. I think at one point I was so desperate for calories because I'm so skin and bones anyways.
Right.
I was going to McDonald's almost every day and getting 2 large milkshakes.
2 milkshakes.
Just letting them melt on my dashboard of my car and just pouring it down.
You just guzzle it.
Yeah. I think I bought a coffee creamer one time and it had almost 3,000 calories in it. So I just chugged the coffee creamer. And then for 4 days, my throat was burning.
Oh my God!
Some oat creamer.
Something happened in there. Yeah,
Bad
some
ideas,
chemical in the creamer.
What you do to not lose weight? So I didn't lose any weight.
Wow, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Because you were eating a high-calorie liquid diet.
A bunch of crud.
And what's the first thing you had when you got the jaw unwired? What were you
I think
craving
the
the
first thing I
most?
actually had was Chick-fil-A mac and cheese, but it's because I still couldn't like,
Oh, you couldn't
no, it took a while to
masticate, as
actually,
they
yeah.
say.
But I think I went to Heritage Barbecue.
Oh, perfect, man. And just had some brisket or something, or pork,
Yeah,
or both.
I think I had I just went all out. I saved
Yeah.
like $500 during all that just so when
Oh,
I could
yeah.
eat, I could go
That's
eat because I'm a huge foodie. So
sure. Oh, you
that was
are.
a big deal for
Do you
me.
cook as well?
Yes, yeah, I really enjoy cooking at home.
Nice.
It's nice to be able to make what I like,
Yes.
and working at a grocery store kind of helps out.
Yeah. So you let's because you mentioned it. You work at Trader Joe's.
I do, I do.
What do you do there?
I'm in management,
Yeah.
so let's see. I've been with the company for like 6 years now,
I've
and
I've heard it's a great place to work or
yeah, it's
good
great.
company to work for.
So just in the last year and a half, stepping up into leadership, and I really enjoy it. It
Yeah.
feels pretty natural for me to lead a team, lead the floor,
Yep.
and I kind of have, since I like food, I kind of have a passion for
Yes.
the industry. It's sometimes a little mundane when you're dealing with like selling someone a bottle of ketchup, but the conversations that I have, the networking that has happened over
Yeah.
the years of just meeting people, and then the environment is so positive for
Yeah.
me. It really does beat out every other job. I've looked,
Yep.
I'm searching all the time.
Yeah.
And it really holds true. I enjoy working for the company.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's something to be said for that. It has to do with your personality. I know Trader Joe's has a high focus on customer service, and they hire
Definitely.
people that are personable with others. So that's a testament to your good qualities.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, no worries, man. So, yeah, so you're working at Trader Joe's. You're still bodyboarding most days of the week, would you say?
Yeah, if I really want to, I can go every day,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
What do you do on the days you don't bodyboard? Do you have other hobbies,
Well,
passions?
you know,
Obviously
I
cooking, but
something that I try to focus on,
yeah,
or that I've been trying to focus more on, is having your hobbies align with your goals.
yeah,
So to me, that's huge because for a long time I wasn't aligning my hobbies with my goals,
yeah,
and so basically the last few months I've been on a pretty good regiment, trying to stay limber, been working out a good amount.
stretching,
Really,
weights.
yeah, like actual weightlifting,
Okay.
because a lot of people don't necessarily understand how much of a toll bodyboarding or surfing can take on your body and how much strength
Yes.
it requires.
Yeah.
And then when you are built and in good shape, like what you will benefit from it. Like look at
Yeah.
Louis Finnegan.
Right.
Oh my goodness, he's like Iron Man.
Yeah, he's crazy
And
fit.
so that's like an extreme example,
Yeah.
right? I don't think I would ever get to that level. I would love to, but that's not necessarily my goal.
Yeah.
My goal is to be ready, not
Yeah.
have to get ready.
Functionally
Yeah,
fit.
exactly.
You have to have the level of fitness to do what you want in bodyboarding.
Mhm.
And as you pointed out, it beats you up, especially the stuff that the young guys do, where they're just hitting the lip, yourself included, on giant waves, landing in the flats. That is really bad for your neck. And
And
as you
lower
get
back.
older, I just from my perspective, not to shift the focus to me, but when I get on waves, I can have a ton of speed and I see an air section. If it's a big wave, I just like, this will really hurt if I hit this lip. And I'll be honest, man, I'll just duck out the back half most of the time. Because it's just the pain. My neck is already like 46 years of bodyboarding. It's tweaked. So it's so cool to see guys like yourself, out there just launching. And the fitness thing is so important because in my day, nobody did anything for fitness. We just
Yeah.
went bodyboarding. That was it.
It's huge. I think that it's actually really cool to see. There's a whole movement of
Yeah.
people having this realization that you can't just have the chill surf lifestyle. You really have to hold on the other end of things.
Yep.
Especially it's like I'm 22 now, so I'm starting to see my body change.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
it's not like I don't feel like I'm gonna get fat or anything, but I gotta keep my core tight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
To help with those high impact maneuvers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's cool being in the gym and seeing other kids that are surfing, bodyboarding in
Yeah.
there, and having their friends to work out with. It's really cool.
It is a totally different ball game nowadays. Fitness is so important, I think, for people that do what you do, because it's like you said, it's a high impact sport and high risk when you're riding kind of waves that you're riding and doing the things that you're doing. So, of course, you want to be as prepared as you can be so that you can keep doing this until you're in the grave,
100%.
essentially. Let's talk about a few things that are going on in your life. First of all, you're pretty well traveled, man. Let's talk about some of the trips you've been on. I mean, you've been to Puerto Rico a few times, right?
Yeah, that's
Portugal.
the spot.
You've been to Portugal. You've been to the Canaries.
Yes.
So let's talk about some highlights of this. And first of all, let's talk Puerto Rico. Was that kind of the first international? Well, it's not really international. It's part of the United States. But what was the first place you went outside the continental U.S. to bodyboard?
I'm trying to think. I think Puerto Rico. Out of
Okay.
the continental U.S. would
Hawaii,
probably
never
be-
Hawaii.
I did go to Hawaii. I went in 2020.
Okay.
That I would say that's my first boogie trip
Got it.
because I was still in high school. I think I was like 17 at the time, and I just was talking to Craig and Tanner, and they said, "Hey, we're going to Hawaii," and I kind of got the invite, and I was like, "Whoa, I need to act on this." So I just put it together on my own. Hey, I got my flight. I'm gonna stay here, and I think Craig was pretty stoked because he hadn't figured out a place to stay yet, and so then we ended up going in on a room together.
Oh, cool.
And we stayed at Sharks Cove.
Oh, yeah.
On the North Shore there. And
Yep.
It was cool. I got to go watch the pipe event, watch Tanner almost win it on his birthday.
Wow.
Ian Campbell stole the candle at the end there.
That's right. The buzzer beater. I remember
But that was a really cool year.
Yeah.
To be able to meet a lot of people, meet some of the Australian guys like Shaden Schrader, Kane Brewer. It was just awesome to see. And kind of get immersed, at least get my name out there, get my face out there.
Yep.
And surf with some legends. I think my first wave I ever caught at pipe, Mike Stewart called me into it. So I was just
that's
psyching.
sick.
I didn't
That's
make it, but
That's okay, man. You went.
Exactly.
Because if he calls you in, you go, man.
You go.
It doesn't matter if it's closing out or not. That's sick, man. So then Puerto Rico came into the mix. How did you start going there?
So basically, I really wanted to get into competition bodyboarding, like on the world tour.
Okay.
And at that time I did.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at which ways I was going to go to get ready for competition. So I wanted to go to Chile. I was like, I'm going to go to Chile. This is my goal. And I think it was, let's say, December, and I was wanting to go in May.
Yep.
And I was talking to my best friend, Carlos Torres, at Salt Creek, and he had been to Jared's camp.
Yep.
And he kind of stopped me in my tracks and said, "Nah, you need to go visit Jared before you go onto the tour."
Yeah.
And so
Jared's two-time world champ.
yes,
Two
he
times?
is.
Yeah.
And so, he's my best friend, one of the most impactful mentors I've had in the sport, in life. And so I really took him seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a spontaneous type, So I think that day or the next day, I just sent him a screenshot and was like, "Yeah, I booked my camp. I'm ready."
Sick.
So that March I went and visited
And that was
Jared.
a solo trip, just you?
Yeah, I
Almost-
just booked it on my own, and then there was another guy, Slater Thompson from
Yeah.
Huntington Beach.
Slater,
and,
yeah.
He just booked it on his own as well,
Yeah.
and we were the only two people there.
Wow.
It was so rad. Yeah, and just such an amazing experience. Jared
Yeah.
provides just really something that you can't articulate. You have to be
Yeah.
there, and if you really appreciate good hospitality, good food, and firing waves, Puerto Rico's it's a great place to be for sure.
Full advertisement for the Jared Houston bodyboard camps.
I think he has a couple dates available, yeah, so get online, check those out.
Wow,
I
you
think
getting
some
a
of the-
discount for this promo? I love it. Jared,
No,
we
I
love
just-
you, man.
I
And
just love Jared
Natasha.
and the fam. Yeah, Natasha.
Yeah, you guys are great.
Poeti, Nalu,
Yeah.
everyone's great.
Yeah, so I just saw he fired up the camp once again, and they're getting it going. But you've been more than once, right? Have you been 3 times? More than that?
I've been 5 times. now,
5. Wow.
but I've been to the camp 4 times.
Okay.
So I pay my way, and I pay my way to the camp because I really enjoy supporting what's good.
Yeah.
And so I'm not the type to try and get too many discounts or anything.
Sure, yeah.
I want to. If someone's needs money, I'm gonna pay them.
Got it.
That's the way I see it.
That's cool.
And so the last time I went, I kind of did my own thing. We did stay, but that's the thing is Jared didn't have time to do a camp. He had the family and everything, and I said, "Well, let me rent your Airbnb."
Oh,
and
yeah.
so still find a way to support. There's also a bunch of other really great Airbnbs over there. A lot of the bodyboarders are super on top of it.
Got it.
Amazing properties. And
Yeah.
for good prices, you know, like you really good value, and that's kind of the thing. It seems like the bodyboarders have figured out over there that
Yeah.
they can have their side hustle. You know, they do a lot of handiwork too,
Okay.
and then also have their Airbnb, and so then it works out for them because they can take care of everything at their place.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Puerto Ricans are just so resourceful. They're legit.
They've had to be. I mean, Jared he's not a Puerto Rican, but he's been living there for a long time, married to Natasha, who's from Puerto Rico, and he's an electrician now.
She is not from Puerto Rico.
Oh, she's not. Sorry.
She's from Argentina.
Natasha, my apologies. I've worked with Natasha in the past when we sponsored an event there, and she was kind of doing the promo, but yeah,
she's lived there forever.
Didn't realize that.
And,
okay.
And yeah, that's basically the extent of my knowledge.
Okay, good. I stand corrected.
But Jared, I think, went on a trip there to visit her, you know, years ago, and just never left.
Right. Got it. Yeah, it's a magic place. There are arguably as many bodyboarders as surfers in some areas of Puerto Rico, particularly the northern side of the island.
Boogie Land.
Arecibo is, you know, it's a mecca, and just look up videos on Arecibo.
Don't look up too many.
Yeah, there's some spots. I won't say the names of the spots, but you can book into the Jared Houston Bodyboard Camp and find out more details there. And I won't get into the spots either because we want to keep that a little bit of a mystery unless you go down there.
That's adventure is the point.
That is, you know, and there's not much of that left these days. You know, most places are
everything's on Google
overexposed and just too much promo. So it's kind of good to like, oh, I don't really know what this place is all about. I'll go with somebody who's going to guide me that lives there and knows their way around. And last time I was there, we had an absolute blast. We had a session at a spot far from that town, but group of bodyboarders out there couldn't have been nicer. You know, oh, Jay, I met you in the 1989 when you were here. And I'm like, oh, man, that's so awesome. I love it, man. So, yeah, deep. The roots of bodyboarding run deep over there in Puerto Rico. Okay, let's talk about your Canary Islands trip. When was that?
That was in this past October.
And how did that happen? You went during the Fronton King event?
Yes.
Just to kind of stay in the periphery?
Yeah, so the way it works with, you know, my job is I have to request my time off a couple months ahead of time and really figure out what I want out of a trip.
Yeah.
So I can kind of just give myself the best shot with tides, moon phases, and time of year.
Got it.
To just hope that you go swell.
And that's a long window for that event. It's like 2 weeks.
It is a long window. And so I knew I wasn't able to do the event. It is on my list still to do it. I'd like to. Because Fronton's such a sick wave.
Yes.
And so I went, I think I planned my trip to get there with like 5 days left in the waiting period because my goal was to see the final day.
Yeah.
And then surf after everyone left.
Right.
And they ran it before I got there. It wasn't...
Crusher.
I don't think it was insane conditions or anything.
Yeah.
But I was kind of bummed I missed it.
Right.
And, you know, some of the guys were... Because I also wanted to meet people. Some of the guys were out of town by that point, but I still got to connect and meet some really cool guys.
Good.
But that trip kind of sparked just from, you know, over the years seeing Fronton. And
it was a bucket list destination for you.
Yeah, and I just said, oh, I want to go there. And so I just looked up flights and booked it. It just kind of worked out like that. So, yeah, I brought Ian McMillan with me.
Yeah, I was going to say, who did you stay with? Ian.
And, yeah, it was just me and him. We went to Gran Canaria, went to another island. Yeah, it was super fun.
What other island did you go to?
Well, we went to Lanzarote.
Okay.
Yeah. And
El Camal?
We did end up, I stayed like right there.
Oh, perfect.
Cool. And it's cool because, you know, that wave's very publicized.
Sure.
But, of course, you got to have the respect for the locals.
Yep.
They own it. And
that
was something across all of the Canaries, which I had kind of been warned.
Okay.
And I think most of our trip, we got so lucky because it was horrible conditions for them. So nobody was surfing. We surfed Fronton alone, like
super
4
windy
times.
Though.
Yeah, super windy, but pumping still.
Yeah,
like to us, we were just having a blast. It's like 6 to 8 foot wedging across the reef.
Yes.
It's so fun. And so I think the whole trip there was only 2 days that was glassy.
Wow.
And we still had so much fun. We surfed like 6 hours every single day.
Yeah.
And so only those 2 days do we actually see the real people come out, and, like,
Okay.
the crowd come out. Oh yeah, it was pretty cool to
Did
see.
Did you stay in front of El Agujero in one of those little
I
apartments?
did. Yeah,
Okay.
I stayed like right at La Guancha there.
Yeah.
It was super cool, and didn't get to surf Agujero. I
Yeah.
paddled over there, caught like one wave, but it wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, the conditions didn't align for it.
Sure. Yeah.
But to see like a good day at La Guancha was really
It's
cool.
a super fun wave.
Yeah, to watch Omri Laverne just paddle out and do his thing. And man, he's so cool. He's such a nice guy.
He is.
Yeah, really down to earth and
Class act. That
really
guy.
inviting.
Yep. Love Omri and his family. They're all great. His son's really ripping these days.
Dude,
I don't know
he
if you have
is.
seen any clips.
Yeah, I think they're in Indo right now.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty cool.
right. They've been I think at Secret Sumatra maybe.
They're somewhere over there.
Or somewhere in that area. That's another surf camp.
I'm going.
Dean
over there
Fergus,
soon.
you hear me? Dean, I'm plugging your camp. You can give me a discount. Just kidding, buddy. So there's so much about Frontone. You went there to surf Frontone that's so gnarly yet so perfect for bodyboarding. Rights, lefts, wedges, bowls. It's a precariously dangerous wave too. Super
just
shallow.
Getting in and out of the water there.
Just
is
getting in and
pretty
out on a
deadly.
big day is
Yeah.
crazy. Smaller days, not so much. But yeah, I mean, when I was there last in 2023, I believe it was.
The year Jeff won.
The year Jeff won, it was gnarly, man. And guys in the heats they had to go down to the next little
village.
town, to the
Ooh.
little village, to the boat ramp to get out of the water. It was so nuts.
Yeah,
and this is like top pro bodyboarders, Did you have to do that?
I didn't, but I was out there with Ian one time, and he wouldn't go in like straight.
Oh
And
yeah,
so
man.
he paddled the other way. He paddled all the way to La Guancha.
Oh my gosh, and that's a hike. That's about a quarter mile.
And I remember I hopped in the car and I drove down there.
And picked him up. That's great, man. That's so great.
It looked really gnarly, the exit.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I just said, cameraman never dies. I had a GoPro on my head.
Oh
just went
my
for it.
gosh, camera! I've never heard that one. I'll keep that one in mind. We talked earlier about your injury, your jaw break. You've also had surfer's ear.
Mm-hmm.
And did you have the surgery for surfer's ear?
Mhm.
So you had it drilled out, and this was recent.
Yeah, I did that May 1st. So all of May. I was out of the water.
You're out of the water for a month.
Mhm.
How was the surgery? Was it okay? Everything went well?
I mean, I hate anything like that. Being in a medical setting, being put under needles, all that's not,
Sure.
not my thing. But I would say that everything went as planned. It went pretty smoothly. My recovery time was about right on target. I
Yep.
think I probably even got in the water earlier than earlier than they told me that I could, but the doctor said, "Oh, you've healed up, you can go,"
Huh.
And because I was on top of it, I didn't want to cause an infection or anything
Sure.
that would prolong it, because I knew wedge season was right there.
Right.
But it was really cool the way it worked out. There was a six south swell right before my surgery, so I surfed bender for like 3 days, just all up and down the coast.
Try to get it out of your system.
Yeah, some waves up in Ventura and slow, came back down, surf wedge, was San Diego everywhere, and then boom, woke up it was like a Tuesday morning, and then just went to surgery. And
Man.
so yeah, it was pretty rough. They drill out your ear.
Yeah.
Take a little dime drill and basically just drill around the bone mass.
Yeah.
It's a bone mass that
Sure.
goes over your ear canal until they can kind of get behind it, and then they poke it out with a little poker.
Yep.
And clean up around it and put in this like gel foam that just solidifies, and you're just packed up like that for a month.
And then I'm going to guess you have to get the other ear done at some point. Is that right?
Yes. So the other ear, this one was 99%.
Oh,
this one
man.
was like 90 or something, 85,
Yeah.
90. And he told me, the doctor, shout out Dr. Mundi, he did a good job. And he definitely made me more like comfortable about the surgery. He was
Yep.
just super nonchalant about it,
Yep.
because I guess it's pretty normal around here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
But,
so many surfers.
Yeah, he said
Yep.
the right ear will need to be done. He said I can get away with it for a while if it's not bugging me.
Yeah.
So I will probably eventually.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have had that surgery, and the prevailing theme is it will come back unless you really do something like wear earplugs. Are you wearing earplugs now?
Yeah, I wear earplugs pretty religiously, and I've been doing that for 3 years.
Okay.
Because I knew it was coming.
Yeah, was water getting stuck in your ear?
Mhm.
Is that how you knew, like, you couldn't drain it out?
Yeah,
And
I
you're
had like
"Man."
kind of a scary experience in Puerto Escondido, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, where before I went down, my ear was all clogged, and I remember literally getting on the flight with my ear clogged. And
Ooh, that's
I was just so scared.
scary.
And the moment
Must have
the
killed.
moment the plane like went like that on the runway, my ear popped.
Oh,
And
yeah,
so I
because
was
they start depressurizing the plane, or pressurizing the
Yeah.
plane right away.
Yeah, so I was fine. Like it popped, and I was so stoked. Total
Oh.
relief. And then went on that trip, and I was wearing earplugs the whole time, but
Okay.
still somehow got an infection.
Yeah.
And it just got so bad to where the water was stuck in there, and I just couldn't balance. My whole equilibrium was off. And
Dang.
I was just so bummed. I was down that far in Mexico.
Sure.
And it was whatever. I surfed through it, but
Yeah. Well, it obviously.
But
everything...
that was ever since then. I religiously wear earplugs.
Yeah. Well, it's like you don't want it to recur quickly.
Yeah,
so
it's
you're
inevitable.
Trying
though,
to put it
know?
off. Yeah. Portugal.
Oh.
You've had some really good times in Portugal. How many trips there?
I've just been once, but I want to go back soon. I really liked Portugal.
Yeah, so you spent some time with Pierre-Louis Costas, who is French, lives in Portugal now, and runs a bodyboard camp there. Did you do his camp, or were you just there surfing and you met up with him and went for a sesh?
So I did his camp.
Okay.
Something that's huge for me is local knowledge.
Yeah.
And also I had seen him posting about the camp, and
Yep.
I think I actually met him in Puerto Rico one time when I was at Jared's camp. He came on
Okay.
vacation down there, and I had kind of got wind he was going to start up a camp. And then I saw it one day, and when I looked, at what he was offering, and I kind of looked at where I wanted to surf, I said, whoa, that's kind of right up my alley. And then I get to surf with a multiple world champion that probably has just a plethora of tricks to learn from. So that's what I did. Yeah, I just booked his camp and told him I got my flight. Here you go. And I think me and Luke Gillen went. So that was really cool. So we did 1 week with Pierre. Got to surf so many fun waves.
Yep.
We kind of went in. The forecast was just slop. It looked so bad, and we were so upset on the plane going over there.
You're just thinking you're going to get skunked.
Yeah, just worried. We show up, and Pierre's like, oh, it's sick. It's going to be firing tomorrow. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Okay, cool. Where are we going to surf? And I'm like, the wind's like straight on shore. He goes, oh, no worry. I bring you here. We show up, just pumping wedges. We got to surf that sick wave in Lisbon.
Yes.
Baixo de Arcos.
Yes.
That was super cool. And then just surfed, a bunch of other really good waves. And
Yeah.
then what was cool was Pierre was very inviting with his the local community, introducing us to a lot of guys.
Yep.
Like one guy who really stuck out to me, just such a nice guy, Antonio Savaria.
Yeah.
And ripper, really good bodyboarder.
Yep.
And got to meet Maxime Castillo, a couple other guys that were, impactful on my trip there. Just really good guys to be around in the water. Really cool to learn from, watching them throw big air versus
the best guys,
Miguel
man.
Coelho. That guy rips too. So kind of hang out with that crew while we were in the camp, surfing the sick waves, because me and Luke were there to surf.
Yeah.
So Pierre, after he kind of realized that, was taking us to the good waves.
Right.
And because, at first he had to kind of see what we were about.
Sure, he didn't know your level.
Exactly. So yeah, that week with him was just amazing. And he was kind enough to extend his arm. He said, hey, I know you're staying another week. Just keep me in the loop. Like wherever, if you're going to surf in this area, let me know. And I might be able to point you in the right direction.
Okay.
And so that was just huge. That was
Yeah.
super helpful. And so we got a really good Super Tubo swell.
Oh.
Where I only got, Pierre was busy, so he only came up one day, but I got, I think, 4 days in a row of just firing Super Tubos.
Wow.
Just really, could kind of get the waves you wanted to. There was a lot of current, a lot of closeouts. It's like 90% of closeout.
Oh, wow.
If it's not blowing 30 miles per hour offshore.
Right.
But got some of the barrels of my life, got to surf that fun wedge in the corner. Was kind of chasing this big slab the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Went and checked it maybe 10 different times. It just didn't work out. So that's my goal, is to eventually, there's a proper left slab over there somewhere that I'm trying to get my hands on.
And will not reveal the location of, I'm sure. But you're going to have clips of it, I would imagine, at some point.
Yes,
Hopefully you'll have somebody to video.
I mean, hey, I'm going there to surf the wave. If someone's filming, that's amazing.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. It's just
But-
an icing on the cake.
Exactly.
But you're
But
there to get
overall,
waves.
just really, really cool trip. I enjoy kind of being immersed into the culture
Yeah.
of a new place.
Yep.
And I'm a huge seafood guy too. So
Oh,
it's
that's,
just the clams, like some
Great
of the
place
best
to be.
clams I ever had.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I would go back
Love
tomorrow.
it. Yeah. So which place would you say was your favorite of these places that we've talked about so far? You can't pick a
kinda
favorite. They're
biased.
all
I'm
favorite
kinda-
for different
I'm
reasons.
kind of biased towards Puerto Rico,
Okay.
because to me, I could actually see myself ending up there.
Sure.
It's somewhere that you kind of get more of a feeling.
Yeah.
That you have like almost a
connection.
a connection per se.
Do you speak Spanish?
Not much.
Just
So,
enough to get by.
Yeah, the goal.
¿Dónde está el baño?
Yeah, exactly.
Necesito.
Yeah, the goal is to learn
Yes.
eventually. I work at the store that I work at, Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
We're in a location where we have a lot of Spanish speakers come in, so I practice all the time.
Sure.
But I definitely need to. I think what it would take is moving somewhere and being fully immersed.
Immersed,
like
yeah.
everyone says,
Definitely. And
But
that would do it.
That's actually huge on my list.
Oh, yeah.
Of like life goals is to become bilingual.
Yeah, and that would be a great place because it's it's part of the United States, and a lot of people speak both English and Spanish. So what better environment to learn better Spanish? Where you have the you have the ease of, oh, I need to speak English for this, but I want to practice my Spanish, and you can do it there. You can do both.
Exactly.
There. You have some future trip plans. Let's talk about that. Where are you gonna go?
I will be going in September to Java, so I'm pretty
Ooh.
excited about that.
Not gonna name the location. Is this a secret location?
It's a big island.
Okay. You
No,
do have a
it's not-
plan.
it's not a secret per se. It's
Okay.
like, posted on Instagram and stuff. But we'll see the clips once I go.
Okay.
It's gonna be a pretty good time, I think. It's
Yeah.
the classic place that everyone goes. I'm sure everyone's seen the videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is on the island of Java. I think it's
who-
West Java. I don't know.
Who are you going with?
Kind of a little crew.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. As far as it is now, my good friend Sterling Stiers, he's locked in. So we got our flight together. I know he's sitting right next to me. And then we're trying to see if Ryan Moore wants to come. He wants to film.
Videographer.
And then I know that Ian and Gavin are going.
Okay.
And just a couple other guys that are just on
Wow.
the fence.
Got a little crew.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the way I roll is I just book my trip on my own. And
And tell everyone, hey, this is when I'm going. If you want to jump on, jump on.
exactly. Yeah, it kind
Yeah.
of more happened like I said I'm going, and then
Sure.
everyone was like, "Well, what dates?" And then
Yeah.
everyone wanted to jump on, which I love that. I think it's cool to go as a crew, but you of course have to be really aware of where you're going and the locals, and
Yeah.
So I'm actually a little worried about how we're going to be received, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just show up with a smile and just sit in the corner for a bit.
Well, the good thing there, I think, about you is, it sounds to me like you're not afraid to travel solo. If that's what it comes down to. Like,
Yeah.
you booked your trip and you said, this is when I'm going. And hey, if people jump on, great. You have buddies with you, but if they don't jump on, you're still going, man.
Yeah,
You're doing your thing.
I love all my friends. It's good to travel, but it makes things a little bit more difficult. I mean,
Sure.
naturally, since I'm a leader, then a lot of times on these trips, I kind of become the tour guide or
Right.
the magic 8 ball per se. I call myself because everyone wants to ask me a question.
I get that. Yes.
Which I don't mind it. It's good and bad.
Right.
I'd probably rather be in that position than be on a trip with someone who is in charge of me.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
That's why I'd rather go alone.
Yeah, no, I get it. You take the lead in a situation like that, and it happens because people know, okay, he's done some research, he knows where he's going, or at least something about where we're going. What's your route? LA to where? Taipei?
I got a pretty good route.
Then
It's LA straight to Singapore, and then Singapore to Yogyakarta. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good route for sure.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Yogyakarta or something.
Yeah, it's right. So that is Java.
Yes.
And yeah, you're gonna have a blast, man. You're gonna love it.
It should be a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm bringing all my diving gear, fishing gear, and everything.
You staying for a couple weeks?
2 weeks.
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
So luckily, I think I was able to get that time off.
Sure.
And yeah.
Yeah, you're stoked.
Excited.
Oh, you should be, man. Your first Indo trip?
I've been to Bali,
Oh.
but I was only there for like 5 days because I was going around Thailand and just decided to hop over there.
Wow.
But
did you get waves in Bali?
I did. Yeah, I mean, in December.
That's
pretty sick swell.
On the east side of the Bukit Peninsula, like
so
over
I
at
surfed Uluwatu
Karamas?
like 3 days, and then I went to the east side and I surfed a pretty sick wave. It's called Magics, I think.
Okay.
Can't remember the name of the beach. It starts with an S, but
Sanur? That's an area center over there.
Suda Beach or something.
Okay.
I don't know. But it was sick. I just met this guy out in the water, and he was super cool. He said, "Hey, if you want to ride tomorrow morning, come over to the other side of the island."
Wow.
And he kind of just dropped me a pin. And I just went at like 4:30 in the morning on my motorbike trying to find it. Got lost a bunch of times, and then finally pulled up, and it was only like 2 to 3 foot, but really sick waves.
Wow.
So yeah, I had fun. I got a little bit of the Indo experience.
Yeah.
But I want to be a little bit more removed. I guess where I'm going is supposed to be the jungle. So
Got it.
I'm pretty stoked on that.
A little more of an outpost. Yeah. Good for you, man.
It takes more effort to get there for sure.
Yes. We went to Kandui Resort last year, and it was a bit of a mission. Few flights and some hotels in between, and it took us 2 days to get there.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a mission, but well worth the trip, man.
Exactly.
The waves are just phenomenal over there. Let's talk quickly about your YouTube clips. I mean, do you have a YouTube channel? I know your
man.
Instagram. Let's talk about your Instagram. Do you want to promote your Instagram on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should,
I
because
think
we're going to
everyone,
post it.
Like, everyone calls me the Life of Scotty P because that's my Instagram. Is
Okay.
The Life of Scotty P. I think
with some underscores in between.
Yeah,
each
but I think
word.
if you just look up my name, Scotty Plowden, you should find it.
I'll put it in the description.
The prompt on that was from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, sure.
Disney
I
show.
remember that. Yes. My daughter used to love that show.
But actually some pretty...
Dylan and Cole Sprouse, the stars of the show. That's useless knowledge there for you, folks.
Some kind of bummer news is that I did have all of my videos up on my good friend Jack West's YouTube channel, and it somehow got deleted.
Oh,
he said he was just
no.
watching YouTube one day, and then he got signed out, and he went to sign in and said, "Your account's been deleted."
You're kidding
and I
me.
had, we had like 100 videos on there.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so everything from my first edit ever, all the way, that was like my archive. I think it's all backed up. We have it backed up, but it would just be...
Oh, it'd take hours and days, weeks.
A month of like every day straight going through it to get all that stuff back together.
Oh, because you'd have to re-edit and then upload.
So I'm pretty upset about that, I guess.
What a
If you
mission.
look me up, then there's really not anything on there.
No way. Time to rebuild, man.
I guess so. Yeah, I've thought about doing the YouTube thing. It doesn't really fit me.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, with the whole social media, if you discipline yourself and you put in the effort to post every day and be on top of it, you're going to rise just naturally with the way the algorithm works and the work you're putting in.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't necessarily, it doesn't.
That's not what drives you.
No.
Just like internet fame. Like a lot of people, that's TikTok, man. I got to post on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It's not important.
To me, Instagram it's a really cool way to access a mobile scrapbook. That's the way I think of it. Where if I have something that I like enough to where, one, I want other people to see it, I guess, because I think it's cool. Mm-hmm. And then two, I want to be able to find it right away on my phone.
Yep.
Then I only have like 100 Instagram posts. I have like 20,000 photos in my camera roll.
Yes.
So that's kind of the way I see it, is it's just a digital scrapbook.
Mm-hmm.
And then almost a journal too.
Yeah.
When I go on a trip and it's impactful, I write about it. And so that's why I really like Instagram because of that.
Yeah.
But that's what I use it for,
Yep.
And then, of course, you see everyone's clips and everything. It's really fun.
Yeah.
The comment sections are always wild on stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It's all
There's
over
a lot
the
of
map.
brain rot out there for sure. But you can learn from it.
You can filter through it and
Yeah.
just, ignore the bad and take the good.
Yeah, but the whole Insta famous thing, it doesn't quite do it for
That's
me.
not your thing. I love it, man.
I'd love to
It's
make some
actually
money, but-
refreshing, to hear a guy your age, like, that's just not your focus.
Oh, like
for you.
collab posts.
Yeah.
Best thing that ever happened.
Yep.
'Cause I just go on my Instagram and then
Somebody
you're
has
like,
a clip
"Oh,
of you
cool."
and it tags
Boom.
you as a collaborator and you just boom, then
Oh,
it's on
it's
your
so
you don't have
helpful.
to do anything.
Yeah, I really appreciate all those guys at the Wedge, like Brandon Holly.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know his name, but Dingo, the guy.
Oh, yeah, Dingo, yeah, and then
legend.
there's
I think
Harold.
he prefers to be called Dingo.
Right.
But he's super cool. And then Harold.
Yeah.
Harold's just such good vibes. There's a couple other
Yeah.
guys too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but especially Brandon
Yeah.
and Harold and Dingo.
Yeah.
Just the amount of time they put in there, and then to be able to, get home after a long day of filming and cut those clips up, put them up on Instagram.
Yep.
I think it's really cool. I mean, of course, they have an objective as well,
Sure.
to grow their page and their following.
Right.
But it's like it's helping everyone.
It helps everyone.
and it's a positive post or whatever
Sure.
it is. So I think it's cool the amount of work those
Yeah.
guys put in.
Yeah, nobody's making life-changing money doing it. It's just like
I don't
side
think
cash.
so.
Well, if you look at guys like J.O.B., obviously that's his living.
Yeah. But he's the king of that.
Yeah,
He's been
he's a
around for so
YouTube
long.
legend. But guys like Harold or the guys posting clips of bodyboarders, they get a decent amount of views, but it's side cash for them. It's not their day job.
The original
that's for
GOB
sure.
series.
Yeah.
That was the peak of surfing right there.
Oh,
watching
right.
that as a
Yes, when Red Bull was sponsoring.
Yeah, he's like walking out the pipe house. There's chicks in the jacuzzi
Yeah.
holding surfboards. He's slamming a Red Bull and just goes straight into a barrel.
Yes, risking his life and limb in every show with poopies
Jumping
as
shopping
his
carts down
sidekick.
the,
Yeah,
that was cool.
yeah. Well, everything has to come to an end. I mean, I'm sure he got to the point where he's like, man, I'm gonna really mess myself up here. I gotta dial back the
Totally.
stunts and focus more on content that's not gonna kill me.
Exactly.
So totally makes sense. It's natural. Let's talk about your goals personally, not just bodyboarding. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now, Scotty? Is this a question that you've ever
Man.
pondered?
I think when you asked me this last time, it caught me off guard too.
Yeah. So you should be ready this time, but you forgot.
I'm not ready. But I'd say 10 years from now, I would like to be near the position to own a home,
Yeah.
whether that be around here, just in general.
Yep.
Because I don't necessarily know where I'm going to be living in 10 years. I don't know
Yes.
if I'll be able to stay around here, or if I'm going to get pushed out. I'm going to jump at whatever opportunities I see.
Yeah.
I'd love to move to Puerto Rico, but I don't have a means of work over there yet.
Right now.
Yeah.
That could present itself. You never know.
So I'm pretty open-minded.
Yeah.
But I think financial stability and also at some point a family
Yeah.
is huge for me. That's
Yeah.
something that not right now, but
You
I'd say
could
probably
see it
the
in
time
the
I'm
future.
26 or something, that
Yeah.
I'd be putting a lot of effort into building my base, you
Yeah.
know, onto where I would be ready to kind of chill out. And I don't know, I work at Trader Joe's, so sometimes I get the baby fever, but I know that ain't gonna be for a while. I get one crying kid and I'm like, all right, cool, that's all I needed today. Don't
No.
gotta look at them
Yes, there's good with the bad
Yeah.
with
But that,
kids,
I think
for sure.
those are kind of the two main goals, would be financial stability
Yeah.
and family.
Tr-
And build a good group of friends too.
Yes.
Because being 22, a lot of people don't realize if you didn't go to college, to a 4-year school, like I didn't go to a college,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to make friends when you're living in this area and you're 20. There's nowhere for you to meet friends besides I guess
Yeah.
doing hobbies, and then people get a lot of they get kind of closed off and reserved at this age because
Right.
you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to find your path or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's also important, is like finding connections, like real friends that are going to last for a while. Because,
Yeah.
you have all your high school friends and then only a few make it that you still talk to
True.
and all that. And so then that starts trickling down more and more.
Yep.
And just like you said, or like I said earlier, having hobbies align with goals, and then eventually meeting people that have the same vision there.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I love it, man. You have your head screwed on straight, and you seem like the kind of guy that places a priority on building your life around your passions. In other words, like, what you like to do, bodyboarding at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll still be in 20, 30 years from now.
Hopefully, yeah.
You want to be in an area where you can still do what you love to do, and then everything else hopefully falls into place. Work, your career and your family. I know, for me, that's always been a priority. I was very focused on, I want to live by the beach. I want to surf every day.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to build my life around that rather than the other way around. A lot of people, they do something for a living that maybe they don't love, and they try to build their passion around that rather than the other way around. And that's a tough row to hoe, as they say, for most people. Because I'm working, it's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's dark when I go to work. It's dark when I get off work in the winter.
Yeah.
And I just don't have time to surf. And they end up kind of sometimes miserable. So it's refreshing to hear that, you have a good perspective on what you're looking for in the future and, where you want to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, all that. But you're so young, you don't have to worry about that just yet, man.
Yeah, I think it's important.
I'm getting ahead.
It's important to think about, but not something that I'm insanely worried about, because I know that I can work hard when I need to, and when the time comes, you can step it up.
Right. You just, you keep those windows of opportunity open, never close a door or window of opportunity. Look into it. Oh, maybe this is my life path. Maybe that's my life path. So that's good that you're open to that.
Yeah.
Sponsors. Look at this, man. We got your Hubboards board.
This board's so
Let's talk about who supports you,
sick.
Scotty.
I really like this board.
Yeah, man. Tell us who supports you.
Well, a couple main sponsors, or I guess 3 pretty much.
Okay.
Would be Hubboards, Alternative Surf, which is bodyboard shop in Seal Beach.
Yep.
And then Mob All Things Ocean, which would be, it's kind of like the acronym. It's Man Overboard,
right.
All Things Ocean. And so I guess we'll start with Hubboards. They've been really good to me and just so kind to let me be a part of the team this past, it's been 4 years, maybe 5 years. Probably 4 years. We'll say that. But it feels like it's been 5. Just naturally getting along really well with Jeff, Dave, and Jared, kind of the main faces of the brand.
Sure.
And to me, bodyboards are, they're all somewhat similar.
Yeah.
But I like a really nice, narrow shape. And when I hopped on Jared's board, I really liked it. I was riding tubes before that, and I like those boards too, but I kind of ran with the opportunity when it arose to ride for Hubboards. It was, to me at that time, the next big thing, and I wasn't sure, what direction I was going to go with bodyboarding. If I wanted to try and jump on the world tour, or if I was just going to be like, oh, cool, I finally became a part of a brand a little bit, then I'm chill here.
Yeah.
Right now I'm like in the middle, where I feel like I want to cherry pick the contests that I do, because to me it has to align with where I want to travel, what dates, and the time I can get off work.
Yes.
Because I can't do all these waiting periods.
Right.
So that's why I haven't been competing that much, because I don't want to necessarily go somewhere for a whole amount of time just to sit in a contest area.
Let me get off on a quick sidebar here about what you just said. I hate to keep going back in my day. I sound like that old guy, but I mean, back in my day on the world tour, there was like 25 of us American bodyboarders that was our full-time job. We got paid well for a bodyboarder. We're not rich in those days, and all we did was go bodyboarding. Why, in your opinion, are those opportunities now non-existent? What's your opinion? This topic has been discussed so many times, but I'd love to hear the take from a guy your age who's really in it right now. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a good question because of course I didn't, I'm younger. I grew up. I was born in 2002. So,
Yeah, right.
So I was
That's
I was
after
born,
I was even retired.
I was born after like everything.
Sure.
All of the bodyboarding heyday.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even learn about it until like 4 years ago when
Yeah.
I started kind of doing my research. I'd say, kind of one of the natural responses, but I think it's true and I agree with it, is surfing, definitely tore down bodyboarding a bit, with the stigma involved, with the note that like they don't take it serious and that you're riding a pool toy. I think that has to do with something, as well as, I'm not sure how it worked, but what you guys had a lot of money, a lot of brands investing into the sport, and then because I wasn't there, I don't understand how it can just stop one day.
Yeah.
Where all these beer companies and board companies, clothing brands just say, no, we're not going to go in. From what I understand, I think there was a couple weird moves from some people in the industry back then where like maybe guys were getting paid money that didn't exist. And so then it kind of all came and funneled down on, I don't know, kind of like the whole turbo thing or whatnot.
Right.
But I don't know the details of that stuff.
Yeah.
This is all just from hearsay of what I've heard, bits and pieces from other guys, and then they don't even want to talk about it because it wasn't fun for them.
Yes.
And so I think that, yeah, kind of a mix of the shift towards surfing and getting everyone off a bodyboard per se. And then just the brands disappearing. I think another thing for sure is the community, where, naturally where we live in Southern California, San Clemente, Dana Point area, there's a lot of surfers.
Yeah.
And a lot of dads, I straight up hear it all the time. It's kind of a bummer, but they literally don't want their kid to ride a bodyboard because they think it's not cool.
Old school.
And, that's fair. They can think that, but it's not, in my opinion, that's not like an ocean-minded family. That's not, someone who looks out for like what their kid wants.
Yeah.
They can kind of make their own decision.
Sure.
But yeah, as far as the money goes and all that, I don't know what happened to answer the question, I guess.
All right.
I wish there was something around still. I would, be willing to put in the work and help rise with a brand if it seemed like there was the potential.
Right.
But I've came to terms that I just enjoy bodyboarding and that I'm not gonna get paid for it ever. So I'm cool with that. And that
you're doing it for the right reason then.
I just work, man.
Yeah, you have a job, you have income, and you get to go on trips, man. That's really all most of us want out of the sport. I mean, back in my day when there were magazines, you can see some of the magazines in front of us here. Our goal was to get on the cover. That was it. So it was a different time, and I'll save that discussion for a different podcast because that could be its own podcast. I may have discussed it in one in the past. I can't remember, but it's worthy of a future discussion. All right, so we talked about your sponsor, Hubboards. Okay. You have two more. You mentioned you have three that really back you.
Yeah, just really good guys behind the brand.
Yep.
That they know what my reasoning is. They know what my purpose is for bodyboarding. They know I don't want to go huge on the world tour and try and be a crazy professional bodyboarder. I just want to represent my community the best that I can.
Yeah.
And when it really comes down to it, get people in the right, on the right gear so they enjoy what they're doing.
Sure.
That's why I really I enjoy the warehouse that you have here.
Yeah.
Because ever since I was a kid, could come in and the way that you can explain, what you need as a bodyboarder.
I love doing it too, man.
It's really cool.
I dig it.
And so with alternative surf, that's kind of the other end of town there.
Yes.
The North County OC. And so Dave Goodrich was really cool to kind of take on the brand.
Shout out to you, Dave.
Yeah. It was a dying brand. And they shut the shop down, started selling everything. And Dave wanted to jump in on it because he stood for that. And he
Yeah,
wanted to
he
keep
has
it.
deep roots in that town too. Seal Beach, that's where he
Exactly.
goes bodyboarding, or has been part of that crew for a long time.
Yeah, so ever since, you know, he was just cool enough to bring me on, I've been in full support of, you know, he has really cool clothing drops where
Yeah.
it's more, I call it boogie clothing. Like, you know, it's stuff that I would wear.
Right.
That's the way I see it is
Yep.
I'm never going to be sponsored by a brand if I don't like it, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And so I really like his clothing. You know, it's tough being a smaller shop, especially in that area
Yeah.
with the foot traffic, and you know, Beach breaks like twice a year, so
Right.
you don't have a whole lot of bodyboarders coming around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's really cool to see is that knowing that how many people still make the trek to the shop,
Yep.
you
Sure.
know, or buy online,
Right.
and online sales are huge, huh? Like it's
Mm,
pretty cool.
they can be. Yes.
I'm sure you have your ups and downs.
Oh, yeah,
But
for sure.
but yeah, Dave, he does a good job keeping the younger kids employed too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of hooks up some of the younger groms, gets them in the shop, and it's good for them because they get exposure and knowledge and get to up on their customer service. I'll never forget. This is for you, Thomas or Tomas. So Tomas DeLuca, he works at the shop.
Yeah.
And I went in one time. I was about to go on a trip, and he had like just started working there. I said, hey, you know, I need some shirts. I need rashi, this, that, and you know, the way it kind of works is I'm happy to pay to do the shop discount, you know,
Yeah.
whatever's right. And so he boxes up all my stuff, and he just kind of throws my shirts in a bag. And I was like, are you going to fold those? He's like, what do you mean? I said, so you're telling me when a customer comes in here, you just throw their shirt in the bag and say, have a good day? He's like, yeah, what do you mean? I was like, dude, no. And so I had to show him how to fold a shirt.
Raise the
And
game.
I'm like, no, this is alt search.
Yeah.
You got to be proper.
Little details matter.
But that was funny just because, I mean, he rips and I see him all the time at Wedge, but it was like my big brother moment.
Right
'Cause
on.
I don't have, you know, younger siblings or anything. So
Sure.
that was funny.
That's
I'll
killer.
always remember that.
Right on. And you
I
had
texted Dave. I was like, dude, this kid's not folding your shirts. What's going
oh
on?
man, no, got him in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Classic.
And so then I guess my other sponsor
Mhm.
is Mob All Things Ocean, which
Yes.
is it's strictly clothing, lifestyle, and just vibes.
Bency
Yeah.
Jimenez.
Yeah, Bency's a legend. Shout out Bency. Really good guy. Met him going down to San Diego over the years. I think he was the first person I ever met, you know, paddling out to one of those reefs down there.
Yes.
And he was kind of like, where are you from? I was like, oh, and I just own it. I said, I'm from Orange County. you know?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Another one of you
Yeah.
guys.
And then, you know, we started seeing each other more and more and got pretty friendly. And, he just kind of let me know one time. He said, hey, you know, I have some gear. It's a little passion project. And
Yes.
I just push out cool clothing to people who want to rep it, you know, if you want to rep it. I was all aboard. So that's kind of as simple as that is, you know.
Yes.
I'll always rep his gear because it's simple. The designs, they're not all crazy and intricate and flashy. And it's pretty good quality stuff too.
Yep.
And yeah, he'll make like random little like camping mugs or beanies, like cool stuff
Yeah.
that
you would wear.
I wish other brands would do like with their products. Like, all right, Jeff, let's get some Hubbard sweatpants, please.
Sweatpants.
Yeah,
Okay.
some Hub sweatpants.
I
would be
like it.
sick.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Borgans were talking about that.
I love it, man. Jeff and Dave are great, man. They're, I have nothing but the highest level of respect for both those guys.
Or an umbrella hat. That would be sick.
Umbrella hat.
A Hubbard's umbrella hat.
I don't even know. What is an umbrella hat? Why do I
the
not know what that is?
Like those hats that the people that at the hot dog carts wear, where it's like a hat and then on top of it it's a mini umbrella.
Oh my God, I
Yeah,
love it,
that would
man.
be sick. And then
That's
it could
great.
be like all the decals of like their towel where they're like getting inverts and
A
stuff.
big, yep.
See,
That's great.
there's your ideas. Get me on the
There
sales
you
team.
go. He's on it, man. Anything else you want to mention before we wrap this up? It's probably dinner time for both of us here.
Yeah, not much. When's part 2?
I know, man.
We
could
got a
go.
lot to talk about for
we
sure.
could go on and on.
But yeah, thank you, Jay. I really appreciate you having me on.
Of course,
And,
man. One thing, inside perspective film. I wrote that down. What can you tell me about that?
You know, I can't attest a whole lot to it.
Okay.
Besides, I think the film that we should be talking about would be Modern Nostalgia.
Okay.
Because Inside Perspective was something Wesley Kong did.
Got
and
it.
It was for a nonprofit organization.
Modern Nostalgia. I have
Yeah.
that written down too.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's forthcoming?
Yeah, so real quick though, Wesley's film it was really awesome, and it was for to help support, I believe, people, I think amputees.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
super familiar with it, but yeah, really good work by Wesley, and
Great.
he's just so professional in his
Yeah.
production.
Yep.
So that was really cool. But Modern Nostalgia would be, I guess, the movie that it's a movie. Yeah.
Okay.
We did a premiere like 2 years ago. Super cool. It's kind of more all the alt surf boys and
Yep.
like our local crew.
Yes.
Rather than like, I've been lucky enough to get a couple clips in the Breaking Even movies,
Yes.
but that's that's their thing.
Right.
And so it's really cool to see that. But then over the years, compiling our clips together, and then Ryan Moore, his vision
Yeah.
to create that movie, he did a rad job. I think it's like 40 minutes. It should
And-
be on YouTube, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where can we find it
It
on
should
YouTube?
be free on YouTube. And it's just all riding from Creek, Mexico, Wedge. There's some other spots on there
Okay.
too. Yeah, it's
You're gonna draw a map to those spots. For
yes. And then you can
Yeah.
just I'll send you an invoice.
Perfect. Well, Scotty, I love it, man. We've been going on for a while, but it's been super cool to speak to you and get a perspective from somebody who's in the heart of the sport at the highest level here in Southern California, because you are, I will say, a rare breed. Bodyboarders in Southern California, they tend to congregate at certain spots. The Wedge and Creek are kind of your jams
Yeah.
for the main part. Those are your two spots, and we'll look forward to seeing more clips of you just charging Wedge throughout the rest of the summer as we get more and more south swells, and of course from your trip to Indo upcoming in September. And man, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate
thank
your
you.
time.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
I'm excited. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I really just enjoy the sport. And
Love
I
it.
think about it all the time. I'm just like, I just love boogie boarding.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so fun.
Well, you're preaching to the choir here, so yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah.
So, folks, this was Scotty Plowden, all about him. Let's hope the recording worked. It looks like it
I
did.
think we're good. We're good.
And guys, if you like this episode, give us the thumbs up. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get over 10,000 subs on the YouTube channel. And if you listened on the audio podcast, hope it helped you to pass time during your workout or whatever you do driving while you listen to audio podcasts. It's been a pleasure. And on behalf of Scotty Plowden, myself, Jay Reale, we'll see you the next time on the Real Deal Show, and we will see you in the surf. Yeah! Over and out. Right on, brother. Thank you, man.
Really appreciate it, man.